What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Chevy Tahoe Z71. Huge thank you to Bakary Darbo over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy GMC for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Tahoe Z71 or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac and Buick, then I'll be sure to have Bakary's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is a beautiful 60-degree winter day outside here today, but it is a bit breezy, so I apologize in advance if there is any wind noise in today's video. But just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Chevy Tahoe Z71, and this particular one's been painted in the $995 iridescent pearl tri-coat. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2025, the Tahoe was refreshed inside and out with more modern exterior looks, upgraded interior technology, a better suspension, and a few other things. But this particular Z71's been optioned with the $2,260 comfort package, which gives you the LED headlights with animated lighting. As standard, you get IntelliBeam, LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights. Now I'm going to take a few steps to the left. You will see my shadow. I can't really do anything about that with the winter sun. But the Z71 gets this huge gloss black grille with the black bow tie located at the center of the grille. Just beneath your bow tie, you may notice that you get a forward-facing camera, and that is because this trim comes standard with a 360-degree view camera system. Now offset to the right, if you're looking at this vehicle head on, you can see you have your Z71 badging. And if you come down just a little bit, you get the gloss black lower fascia with the high approach angle. The high approach angle is what makes the Z71 the Z71. So you have better ground clearance going over mud, rocks, stuff like that. So that high approach angle is specific to the Z71 trim level. Now, speaking of safety features, you also get 6 forward-facing sensors up here. Back to mechanical things, you get 2 red frame-mounted recovery hooks with that satin chrome surrounding those recovery hooks, if you can see that. I apologize about the wind, here it comes. But also, you do get skid plates, and those skid plates protect your oil pan, your front differential, and your transfer case. And last but not least, the Z71 gets 8 inches of minimum ground clearance. You get a lot of ground clearance throughout, the front of the vehicle, but once you get towards the back, there is a sway bar, and that's kind of where you're limited to that 8 inches of ground clearance. Everything else, I took my tape measure out, seemed to measure up to a minimum ground clearance of 11 inches, but again, you get that rear sway bar that kind of limits you just a bit. Now, to summarize the 2025 refresh, I think it is subtle yet just enough to make it look just that much better than the previous model. I think the 2024 and below still looked fantastic, but I think this one just sharpens it up a little bit and looks, again, just a little bit better. Again, just my personal opinion. But working my way down the side, speaking of the 2025 model here, you also get a revised suspension. So the first time that I ever drove a 2025 Tahoe, I noticed that immediately. It just had less body roll and seemed very composed. Now, all GM SUVs handle phenomenally for their size, but you can definitely see that they did make a few little changes to make it ride just that much better. Now, speaking of suspensions, you can get the optional air suspension with the Z71 off-road package, but that package requires a few other packages, and it comes out to about $7,440. So definitely expensive if you did want that air ride suspension. Anyways, you get the ride and handling suspension as standard, which is kind of like I believe it's like a coilover shock. Now, also as standard, these are the standard and only wheels you can get with the Z71, and they're 20-inch gray with machine accent wheels that are wrapped in 275/60 Goodyear Wrangler Territory all-terrain tires. I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here as best that I can, and I'm also going to throw the price of a set of these tires on screen right now. Also found on your front 2 fenders, you have your Z71 badging, and as standard, you get rain sensing wipers. Coming on down the side, I'm going to speak about these side view mirrors in 2 parts, what you get as standard and then what this one has been optioned with. So As standard, you get body color side mirrors, and as standard, they're heated. You get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. You also get the cameras at the bottom of both of your side mirrors. Again, those work with your 360-degree view camera system, and also as standard, you get the puddle lights. Now, this one, again, has been optioned with the comfort package, and with the comfort package, these side view mirrors become power folding. You also get a driver auto dimming side view mirror, which is definitely very nice. And last but not least, you also get memory settings. So not only is the vehicle going to memorize your seat settings, it is also going to memorize the outer mirror settings as well, which is definitely very nice if you have more than one person daily driving this vehicle, which I'm sure a lot of you do. Now, taking 3 or 5 steps back, here's a side profile shot of this thing. I think this thing looks a lot like the Escalade in this part right here, minus that high approach angle front fascia, but just that lighting from the side, very Escalade like in my personal opinion. Here is the wind again. So you can see you get your body color shark fin antenna above where the driver sits, and the Z71 gives you the gloss black roof rails, gloss black window trim, and the gloss black Tahoe lettering found on both of your front doors. Also, standard, you get body color door handles with keyless access. Keyless access is that chrome button found on all 4 of your door handles. And then, by the way, this also gets black side steps as standard with kind of like that textured look. You can see that there. I'm trying to block the wind, guys, sorry. Also, on the driver's side, this is where you'll find your fuel door. This one has been spec'd with the 5.3 liter V8, so you do not get, you do not have to put premium fuel. 87 octane will do you just fine. Again, with the 5.3, the 6.2, I believe, does require premium. Just a little nugget of information there. And then coming around back, you get your body color roof spoiler with your integrated third brake light. Your rear wiper also hides up underneath here as well. And LED taillights come standard. I really like the way that the new 2025 taillights look on all of the Tahoes. I feel like they kind of gave it a smoked lens, which looks fantastic. And I also really like just the way all the LED lights look back here. Again, you get the animated lighting with the comfort package, so you can kind of see it here, the way that it lights up. See how it's kind of like fancy looking. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's going to pick up on camera, but that is that. Also, one thing that is nice about the Tahoes is that there is a little black button underneath here. You press on that button and that upper glass piece opens up. So let's say you go to Home Depot, you get a piece of plywood or a 2x12 or something, 2x12 by 12 feet. You can stick that plywood or that 2x12 out the back of your upper glass, which is definitely nice in a pinch if you don't have a truck in addition to the Tahoe. Another thing, I like that gloss black trim piece that connects the taillights together. Again, you can see black bow tie located at the center of that trim piece. Black badging back here. You have your backup camera underneath your H. Now, also, as standard with this thing, you get the height adjustable power lift gate. We can open it up by pressing this button underneath here, and the lift gate will begin to open up. Decent amount of storage space actually here behind the third row seats. I would say from about like here to the seat back, maybe you get about 2.5 feet of storage space. Now, this particular one, again, has been optioned with the comfort package, and with the comfort package, you get the power release second row seats and the power up and down third row seats. So you can only drop the second row seats with these 2 buttons here. You can raise and lower the third row seats with these 2 buttons here. And then to the left of those buttons, you have I believe that's a 120 volt household power outlet. Again, with the third row seats down, you probably get an additional 3 feet of storage space. And underneath all of this stuff, you could probably get about an inch and a half of depth here, and then another probably 2 inches of depth at most. So you could set some jumper cables back here, maybe some gloves, maybe some emergency snacks for you and your kids. Other than that, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the trunk area. Press that button and the lift gate will begin to close. And while that's closing, we're gonna finish things off here at the rear end. So just like the front, the rear also gets 6 parking sensors. One thing that is nice, and I believe new to the Z71, is you now get a quad tip exhaust system, and it also seemed like the exhaust is now louder. for 2025 as compared to the 2024 Tahoe Z71. Even with the 5.3, I still feel like I hear more blub 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 blubs than I did last year. It seems like the exhaust is a little bit less restricted, which I personally like. Now the Z71 also gives you a 2-speed transfer case, meaning you get 4-wheel drive high and 4-wheel drive low. This thing also comes standard with a mechanical limited slip differential. If you wanted the electronic limited slip differential, you're going to have to take a look at the Z71 off-road package. You also get a 323 rear axle ratio standard, as well as a max tow capacity of 8,200 pounds. So this particular one's been optioned with the $465 max trailer package. So that gives you the enhanced cooling radiator, which I believe is why you get an additional, I believe, what's that, like 500 or 600 pounds? I believe that's 500 pounds of additional towing capacity here with the Z71 as compared to, like, I did a Tahoe RST the other day. Max tow capacity on that one was 7,700 pounds. Max tow capacity on this one, again, 8,200 pounds. Very, very capable. Not only can it carry your family, your dog, it can also tow your boat, your side-by-side, etc. behind it. This is probably one of the best overall versatile SUVs on the market in my personal opinion, and I love the way the Z71 looks. This might be my favorite Tahoe trim level. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the standard 5.3 liter naturally aspirated V8 that produces 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 in roughly 7 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 15 miles per gallon in the city, 19 miles per gallon on the highway for 17 miles per gallon combined with 4-wheel drive only. A couple things I wanted to mention: if you are looking for a bit more power, you might want to take a look at the optional 6.2 liter V8. If you're looking more for fuel economy, take a look at the 3 liter Duramax. Both of those are the optional power plants. The 5.3 is what you get as standard, and it also seems like the 5.3 is a little bit more reliable than the 6.2, so it really comes down to your call. Personally, for me, I kind of like the 6.2. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Please just take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those 3 things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. That's what helps me grow. Also, not only do I post review style videos, I also do vlog style videos with builds on my cars. Got a C6 Z06, a cammed Camaro SS, and a 1974 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, as well as an LS swapped F-150. So if any of those vehicles pique your interest, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram or TikTok at 703speed. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access as standard. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press this chrome button right here, and it will unlock. You can press that very same button again, and it will lock right back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with some chrome accenting, and going over the functions on it, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your remote start function, your power liftgate function. This is to open up the upper glass piece on your trunk. Then you also have your panic function. If you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is press this button twice and she'll fire right up. And that is what the 5.3 liter V8 sounds like being fired up from the exterior's perspective. Now, this particular Z71's been optioned with the jet black leather upholstery. If you're not a fan of the jet black, there is one other interior color option that I cannot pronounce, but I'll show you on screen now. Now, we are going to start on the driver door panel. So up top here, you get that leather wrapping, you get that wood, you get that satin chrome, you get those 2 memory seat adjustment settings. Those memory seat adjustment settings come with the comfort package. You also have your unlock and your lock functions. I believe this is for your entry exit mode, so it basically pushes the seat all the way back. And then beneath that, you have your power side view mirror controls. That button is going to power fold in or out the side view mirrors. That's going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get automatic up and down windows in the front. You only get automatic down windows in the back. Nicely padded armrest, a spot you could set your phone, more storage space, water bottle holder. And with the comfort package, you get the 10-speaker Bose sound system. That sounds great. You can see brushed aluminum Chevy door sill. And then also, as standard, you get power adjustable front driver and front passenger seats. Again, this is what your front seats look like as standard. You get the heated front seats. Again, the power adjustable front seats are also standard. Now we're gonna step into the interior of this thing. Close the door, lock it, push to start. Now we have full access here into the interior, and I'm gonna walk you throughout the entire interior, starting with the defroster here for your front driver window. You get the same thing over there for your front passenger window. Then you get your HVAC vent. You get that nice accent wood and satin chrome trim. This button right here is to engage or disengage your emergency brake. To disengage the emergency brake, you have to push your foot against the brake first and then push on that, and that will disengage it. This is gonna pop up your 360-degree view camera system on the infotainment system. That is to turn the parking sensors, both front and rear, on or off. That is going to turn your auto stop start system on or off. When you come to a stop, the vehicle turns off. That is how you turn that feature off. That is for your lane keeping system. This is to turn your traction control system on or off. The Z71 gives you hill descent control, so that is what that button is right there. And then when you click on this, this is for your parking assistant. So basically it can parallel or perpendicular park you in a parking spot. So if you want to do that by the vehicle doing it by itself, that's a button you would press and it would pop that up, and you would select, you know, which side of the space that you want to park on. Okay, now over here, this, again, as mentioned with the Z71, you get the 2-speed transfer case giving you 4-wheel drive high and 4-wheel drive low. You also get 4-wheel drive automatic and 2-wheel drive high. Anyways, this is your drive mode selector. So if you have a few different drive modes. So basically you would just twist this. I believe I got to go over here into the infotainment system. We're going to click stay in demo mode. And now anytime that I twist this, it's going to bring us in between our different drive modes. So we have our normal mode, twisting it to the right. You get your sport mode. Then you have your off-road mode. Then you have your tow haul mode, and then it brings you back into your normal mode, and you click that button right there, and that is how you put yourself into the tow haul mode. Now, one thing I don't really like about the drive mode screen is that it should be a Z71. That looks like a Tahoe Premier to me. Would like to see, you know, a Z71 as the vehicle that I'm in right now. It should be a Z71. An LT should be an LT. An RST should be an RST. Just little things like that that I personally appreciate and don't appreciate on vehicles like this. This is to brighten and or dim your backlit buttons. Then you have your headlight control all the way to the right, headlights on, parking lights on, headlights automatic, twist to the left, that is automatic lights off. Twist one more time to the left, that is automatic light control back on, basically turning the headlights on or off depending on how light or dark it is outside. And then that button is to turn your LED fog lights on or off. Now to the right of that, as mentioned a little bit ago, this one's been optioned with the $465 Max trailer package. So you do get the integrated trailer brake controller down there. Now let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the Tahoe. Not only is it the turn signal control stock, it is also to control the high beams. Then you also have your front and rear wiper controls here. If you wanted to just like wipe the windshield quickly, all you would do is subtly press on that. It just wipes the windshield. And if you wanted to wash the windshield, you had to press a little bit more firm, and then it will wash the windshield with the windshield washer fluid. Now, zooming back out, you can see the steering wheel looks a little bit different here in the 2025 as compared to the 2024. You can also see you get the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, downshift on the left, upshift on the right. One thing I like about Chevys is that on the back side of the steering wheel, you have these two controls here to either go forwards and or backwards on a track if you are on the Bluetooth audio system, or it's going to switch you between your different preset radio stations on FM, AM, XM. And then on the right hand side, on the back side of this side of the steering wheel, these are your volume controls. So you can see volume up, volume down. Now, as standard with this thing, you do get adaptive cruise control. So here are your adaptive cruise control / cruise control settings. This is going to put you into your low mode. I do believe you have to, let's see, we're going to drive, we click on that, and the low mode is now on. I'm gonna turn that back off. And we're gonna go back into park. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. Let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the Tahoe. Now, as mentioned, this one has been optioned with the $2,260 comfort package, and that also does give you the heated steering wheel. You get one level of adjustability with that heated steering wheel. If you wanted to pick up on a phone call, you would push up like that. If you wanted to hang up on a phone call, you would push down like that. And then you have the up and the down arrow right here. That is basically like, we'll pop up the media stuff. We'll click right there. Now you can control the media sources on the digital gauge cluster. So you can see we're going to go into XM. You just push right there and it's going to switch you into XM. Also, that button is to speak to the vehicle. You can tell it to turn the heated seat on. You can tell it to turn the AC in the rear to 69 degrees, something like that. Or if you are connected to wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, I'm just speaking for Apple CarPlay here. If you press and hold on that, that will pop open Siri. And then you can also see this thing right here. So that is to control your 11-inch digital gauge cluster. You have 5 display modes here with the digital gauge cluster. We're going to start with this one. You can see you got your compass, ambient exterior temperature, you got your tachometer, you have your coolant temperature gauge, you have your, I believe that's oil pressure. Let's see if I rev it. Yeah, that is your oil pressure there. And then over here, you have your speed limit sign, you have your time, you have your temperature, you have your date, speedometer, digital speedometer readout, transmission, temperature. Then you have your fuel gauge, you have your fuel range on the lower left-hand side of the system here. And then that right now we are in 4-wheel drive automatic. That is your odometer. And then you have your transmission status stuff down there, followed by letting you know who is buckled and who is not buckled in the vehicle. Again, you click this button right here. That's going to switch you between your different display modes. That was your navigation mode. And then this is another display mode, driver assistance stuff, tachometer, speedometer, audio stuff. Click that one more time. This is like your calm screen. You have your digital speedometer readout and your speed limit sign. Go into one more, and then you have your tachometer at the center, digital speedometer readout, date, time, temperature, audio stuff, same kind of stuff on the bottom as that first screen. Click that one more time, we go back into the first screen that we were on. So all of this is new for 2025. I definitely like the way that the 2025 dash looks better than the 2024. I didn't like how the screen was kind of like plopped on the 2024. Again, just my personal preference. You could be different. But coming into this screen, this is your 17.7-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. This right here is for your radio, your volume control. Up top here, you can see that power button. If you click on that, that is going to mute the audio system. I believe if you press and hold on that, that is basically turning the display to this screen. You can see your time and your date. This right here is your control, so you can go into your child safety locks. That is now on, that is off. You can pop up your 360-degree view camera system. You also have your auto park assist. Click that, brings you into your doors and windows stuff. It brings you into what else does it bring you into? Your drive and park stuff here. It brings you into your universal remote. Your universal remote is your garage door opener. And really, that's about it for that part of the screen. I do want to show you now the other screen. So this is going to be your home screen. You can see all of your shortcuts. Go into camera, that's going to pop up the 360 camera system. You got your trailering stuff. You can see with the max trailing package, you can do some stuff there. Then you can go in between your different settings, like vehicle settings, sound settings, all of these different settings here. Very easy to use screen. You have your shortcuts up top here. This is kind of like a shortcut into like your nav screen and your audio stuff. Then you got your media stuff you can pop up. You can pop up your navigation stuff. You can pop up your phone stuff. And then you can also go into that same control and safety screen. Over here, you have your time, you have your temperature. You do have a wireless charging pad down here that, by the way, does come standard with this thing. But when you have your phone in the wireless charging pad, I wanted to show you that you can see where your phone is on the infotainment system. Now you have that green lightning bolt, and that is letting you know that your phone is charging in the wireless charging pad. Also, you have built-in Amazon Alexa. You now have climate control here at the bottom of the screen. You can turn your heated seat on with 3 levels of adjustability. You can also just turn the heated back on, or you can have the heated back and your butt on. You got your fan speed controls down there. But one thing I like about what Chevy did is not only do they give you the controls here at the bottom of the screen, they also give you the physical controls for the temperature controls, the fan speed controls, the on and off, front and rear defroster. So I like that. Don't just give me the stuff throughout the screen. Chevy did a great job with that there, in my opinion. You can also pop up the climate control here on the screen if you wanted to as well. We're going to go back over to here, go into the secondary screen. It has a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot, and then you get all those different controls, podcasts, Google News, stuff like that. Swipe down, you have your notification screen. Really, that's kind of about it for the infotainment system. I feel like it is very easy to use. And you get the same kind of trim. Push button, start button, 2 HVAC vents, hazard button, I went over that stuff there. Wireless charging pad as standard, that's an iPhone Plus. It does fit down in there. You also get a USB-A port, a USB-C port, storage space. That is what is nice about the Tahoes. Tons of storage space here, more storage space in that same spot over here as well, if you can see my hand. 2 cup holders. Now you do get a huge center fold down armrest down in here. You get some dividers, you get a nice little light right here. You get a USB-A port, a USB-C port. You can take the divider out, and I would say you probably get maybe 10 or 11 inches of depth down in here. Yeah, just about 9 3/4 of an inch, followed by, let's see, about 9.5 inches this way. So about 9.5 inches tall, 9.5 inches wide. And what about this way? We have about a foot from here to here. So tons and tons of storage space down in your center fold down armrest area. Closing that back up, nicely padded armrest, same kind of stuff over here on the passenger side. You do get a lockable lower glove box, quite a bit of storage space down in that glove box, definitely nice to see. You get a no poop handle over there on the A-pillar for the passenger. You also get one on the roof there, whereas the driver only gets one on the roof, no one on the A-pillar. I'm grabbing onto the steering wheel, I would hope. And then over here, you have your auto dimming rear view mirror, your OnStar stuff / roadside assistance stuff, passenger airbag on or off. This particular one has been optioned with the $1,500 panoramic sunroof. So you have the controls to slide the sunroof, to tilt the sunroof, and that right there is just for the shade itself. So the shade itself will open up. And then both of your lights, again, are LED. This is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the doors. So when that light is illuminated in amber and you open up the doors, the interior lights will not turn on. However, if that light is not illuminated, the interior lights will turn on when you open up the doors. Pressing on this button is how you open your tailgate or power lift gate. You can open it up all the way, 3/4 of the way, or you can turn the power lift gate off just by twisting this. These controls here are to drop and raise your third row seats. Those raise and drop third row seats do come a part of the comfort package. And then moving over to here, you get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights, and then this visor does slide in and out for when the sun is in those awkward positions. Closing that back up. That's really kind of about it for what we got going on in the front seats. I personally think these front seats are very comfortable. I also wanted to mention that the Bose sound system is definitely very nice in this thing. I do wish it was a little bit better, but it does sound great, and I could definitely jam out to some music in this thing. And now I'm just going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that is optioned on this vehicle. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard, but I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. You guys can pause your screen if you want to take a look at everything. So basically the MSRP of the way that this particular 2025 Tahoe Z71 is spec'd is $76,085. Definitely expensive, but you know, everything's expensive nowadays, and I think for $76,000 you do get quite a bit for your money in today's money. You know, this thing's basically fully loaded. This is my personal favorite Tahoe. I think it is, you know, the best looking Tahoe. Again, that's just personal preference. I also do like the way the RST looks, but kind of like the off-road design. I've seen a couple of these with some really nice wheels and tires, and they just look fantastic. So anyways, again, you get the automatic down windows back here. The windows go all the way down. Again, they're not automatic up. You have your unlock and your lock functions here. Nicely padded armrest, a spot you can set a phone, some more storage space, and a fancy Bose speaker down here. You get the captain's chairs back here. You could also get the center fold down armrest. I don't like how the armrest doesn't like lock into position. It's kind of just that position. For 75,000 bucks, would be nice to see it lock. Now, if you wanted to slide the seat forwards and backwards, you pull up on this, seat slides forwards and backwards. If you wanted to just drop the second row seat, you pull up on this once. If you wanted to get access into the third row, you pull up on this, and then you pull up on this, and that gives you easy access into the third row. But I do want to show you a couple things before we get into the third row. You get a light back here. You also get an HVAC vent. You also get a no poop handle right here, but this is for your dry cleaning. Seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. I'm 5'9", adjusted behind myself, kind of splitting the difference between the second and third row so I can be comfortable in the second and the third row. Being 5'9", you can see knee and leg room, plenty of it. Knee and leg room, plenty of it. I'm not super tall, so plenty of headroom left over as well. 2 cup holders, tri-zone climate control. Comfort package gives you the heated third row seat, or excuse me, second row seats. You get 3 levels of adjustability. There are not heated third row seats in this. 2 USB-C ports, and then all the way down here, you get the 120 volt household power outlet. You get the same stuff on that side as well. And then stepping into the third row with the captain's chairs, tons of room for me to squeak in between the 2 second row seats. And then back here, you get a USB-C port, a sponge cassette water bottle, storage space for I don't even know what. But as mentioned, I am splitting the difference between the second and the third row. So even being 5'9" in the third row, I still have plenty of knee and leg room. And when it comes to headroom, plenty of headroom as well. A couple other things, you get your dry cleaning hook there. You get another one on that side. And then you also get the 2 HVAC vents followed by the 2 dome lights back here. And really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the Tahoe. I hope you guys enjoyed that walkthrough. But you know, we talked about the exterior, we talked about the performance, and now we talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now onto the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. Even though this is the baby V8 in the Z71 lineup, again, there are 3 powertrain options that you can choose from. The 5.3 liter, which is what we are in today, does come standard. The other 2 come at an option. The cheaper option is the 3 liter Duramax. If you're looking for fuel efficiency, that is the way to go. However, the Mac Daddy engine here on the Z71 is the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. That thing, I believe, makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. So if you are looking for the more powerful option, the most powerful option, then the 6.2 liter V8 is the way to go. But it does cost quite a bit more than the 5.3 liter, which is what we are in today. And I believe that this thing has actually quite a bit of torque, enough torque to get you where you need to go. So if you have deep pockets and you're willing to spend the money, and you have the money, then the 6.2 liter no-brainer is definitely the way to go. But if you're trying to get in an SUV, you don't really care all that much about like having the most power. You don't do a ton of towing. You do a little bit of towing, but you don't do a ton of towing. The 5.3 liter is going to be totally fine. And honestly, I think from what I've seen, it seems like the 5.3 liter is the most reliable of the 3 engines. So, you know, if that has anything to do with anything, if you guys keep vehicles for a while, you know, that might be something you might want to think about. Longevity wise, I would probably go with the 5.3 liter. I'm gonna do a little acceleration, just normal here to the left. You guys can see, I mean, that's just me maybe giving it 5% throttle and just very easily accelerating to 35 miles an hour. Also, just a little interjection here, not having to do with the driving experience. Look at the wireless Apple CarPlay. Look how massive it is here on the 17-inch screen. I mean, it pretty much takes up that entire screen. So I think that is awesome, especially if you are a Waze user. That is definitely the way to go. Now I'm going to do a little bit something more than what I would normally do in an acceleration. Nothing floored here, but just a little bit more of something. I wanted to say that I feel like they also, and they didn't mention this, I feel like they also ironed out the 10-speed automatic a little bit more than last year's. It seems like this one behaves a little bit better. You know, sometimes on like the older Tahoes, even like Yukons, even like Ford products, because this is a co-developed transmission between GM and Ford, they would kind of do really hard shifts and just not shift that clean. But it seems like, just from what I've driven the past 2 Tahoes, it seems like they've ironed out the 10-speed because it's behaving very well. Now I'm going to do a nice full throttle acceleration for you here. So this isn't going to set any records when it comes to speed, but as you can tell, plenty of acceleration for a 3-row, huge, heavy SUV. Take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at 70. Very quiet, very, very quiet here. This would be a great road trip vehicle. Not too much noise from those knobby tires. As you can tell, maybe as they, you know, come down to the end of their life, they might get a little bit louder, but for right now, they sound nice and quiet. You can see full screen Apple CarPlay right there. I love that. Also, what I do kind of like about this is I normally don't like the lane keeping systems, but this one seems to be doing a pretty good job. Like, I'll kind of veer out of the lane a little bit, and you can see, keeps me right centered in the lane. I like that. I'm gonna kind of drift back over here, and it pushes me back over a little bit there as well. We're gonna do a little on-ramp here. We'll test the handling. Obviously, this isn't the handling Tahoe, this is the off-roading Tahoe, but we're still gonna test the handling nonetheless. So far, so good. Turn that turn signal off. I mean, guys, these GM SUVs handle very, very well for their size. It's actually pretty incredible. I mean, very, very minimal body roll, even doing that kind of stuff. You know, it's not like this, you know, it's very well behaved. I'm going to cut all the way over here. Again, just ease of acceleration. And I drive one of my vehicles is a 2007 Silverado 2500, and it's got the 6-liter gas V8. And it makes, you know, similar power to what this 5.3 liter makes. I think actually my 6-liter makes even less power than this. I believe I'm at like 360 pound-feet of torque. I can't remember exactly how much power that has, but it is very, very torquey, very, very torquey. And this is the same. You know, this also has a better transmission. Quote, supposedly, you know, this is a 10-speed, so it keeps you in the power band a little bit better than my 6-speed does. 6-speed automatic in my Silverado 2500. So very nice transmission. Now, you know, always my complaint was I thought the 10 speeds shifted a little bit hard and not very, they weren't consistent with their, you know, smooth shifting and soft shifting, but it seems like they've really ironed it out. Like, truly, I feel like they've ironed out the 10 speed here in 2025 because it does feel like it behaves much better. This is the second 10 speed that I have driven now, and both of them seem to, you know, be much smoother than before. So here's another little acceleration, and really that's kind of about it. Sound system is great. I just really listened to some music, and I mean, this bumps. Also, what I really like about it is that it gets loud. Like Ford products, you get in any Ford product, whether it be a fully loaded Platinum F-150, a fully loaded Platinum Expedition, and you turn that volume all the way up, it's not that loud. You turn the volume all the way up in this Bose sound system and you listen to it for 5 minutes, and it's like, man, this is loud, which I like. And it also has got great clarity even at those higher volumes. Sounds great. So my kind of complaint about the Bose a little bit earlier, kind of unwarranted until I really tested it, and I think it sounds great. So other than that, great driving experience, great suspension, just great overall versatile SUV. And yeah, that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So also, not only do I make review style videos, I also make videos, content, vlogs with my Z06, my Camaro, cammed Camaro, and my 74 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. And I'm also building an LS swapped F-150. So if any of that stuff piques your interest, be sure to subscribe, and then also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed. But that's all I got for you guys today. Again, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.